On a search for purpose, we found each other. We found ways to protect one another and value our shared humanity. We learned how to improve, how to understand, and how to move on gracefully. Everything you've done has a purpose. You are lovely. You are important. You shine so brightly, and you always have. I am so proud of you. My name is LaQuann Dawson. I'm an artist from Elyria, Ohio, now based in Brooklyn. I go by photographer first, but I'm also a filmmaker. I conduct interviews. I'm a community organizer. I paint, I draw, I design graphics. I have a heavy background in fashion. I've done stuff with theater. You really name it. I've tried to define myself in so many different ways, and I've tried to box myself so that I could find a way to kind of exist in a way that feels less exhausting, but I am truly a multidisciplinary artist who wants to do good in the world. The center of all my creativity is, I would say, celebration, healing, and trying to humanize my community, more specifically Black and queer people. I think that sometimes we can be fetishized in media and in images, and sometimes it doesn't really leave room for us to be soft or to be sad or to make mistakes or to be learning. So what I try to do with all of my work is to offer a space where Black and queer people can kind of just like be and build their confidence and allow them to be more than kind of just like an image or just an idea or just something to kind of fetishize. Back in 2018, I was first introduced to Mobilizing Our Brothers initiative. They asked me if I would do something to participate in their festival. They asked me to live paint, and I decided like, oh, what if I did a short film instead? And I had never pressed like the video button on my camera at all until this point. So my then partner and I created a documentary called A Study of Him, where we asked each other, both Black queer men, about love and our experience with love and what it means to us, as well as we asked him podcast, which is a podcast I'm now a part of, similar questions about experience and about love and health and wellness and how to kind of succeed as a Black queer man. After producing that film and getting to see it screen at MobiFest on this huge screen was really such a beautiful moment, because all the voices that were in it were just so raw and so honest and really vulnerable, and I thought it was really sweet. In the feedback that I received from the film, from the people who were in the film and from people who just got to watch it, was really amazing, and I felt like, okay, I'm finally hitting, like, I'm finally helping people. I'm finally doing something that is bringing healing to other people and to myself. It makes people feel seen and valuable and heard, and really have an opportunity to speak on their experiences and their humanity. I moved to New York City in 2016 after I was offered a fashion internship in the city. They offered me $15 an hour. In Ohio at the time, the minimum wage was like $8.10 or something. So I was like, I'm definitely gonna leave and I'm gonna go. I had always wanted to live in New York to just be an artist and to thrive and to really get a chance just to be gay as hell. And so I jumped at the chance, and after the internship ended, they offered me a full-time job. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stay. And I uprooted and I moved all my stuff here. Since coming to New York from Ohio, I've lived in Brooklyn for the last like 5.5 years. And I just feel so at home here, and I feel different versions of safe, and I feel like I'm allowed to express myself and like be who I am, and it feels more celebrated than if I were to walk down the street in Ohio like with an all pink something or whatever on. I think the attention that I would get wouldn't be particularly anything that I wanted. I spent a lot of time since the first day that I moved to New York building community and getting to meet people and letting people know who I am, and working, grinding, and traveling and wearing outfits and just kind of expressing myself in all these different ways in all these different spaces. What makes it feel really safe in Brooklyn particularly is seeing the girls walk down the street with their heels on or with their makeup looks on, or just being loud and flamboyant and gay and fun and just kind of just like doing it and being sexy, and it makes me feel like, okay, I can do it because other people are doing it too, and so I don't have to feel so much like I'm the only person who has an all pink jumpsuit on today. The erotic part of my work is a big part of how I express myself, and it's also a big part of how I protect myself at the same time. I don't always feel super safe, and I don't always feel as free to explore that because of whatever fears I have or whatever risks I have or what experiences I've had that kind of make me a little bit hesitant And so I get to explore like my body and celebrate my body and feeling sexy and erotic and fun in those ways in my work and in my images and in conversation. Going back and forth with my masculinity, my femininity, and seeing how they complement each other and what I feel very confident in. And that process kind of happens when I do a self-portrait shoot. It's been really ritualistic for me in healing and kind of being in my own company and being able to celebrate my body and share it in a way that doesn't offer me much physical harm. In my time in New York, I've kind of built myself into a bubble or an ecosystem, if you will, of Black and queer and brown people who are interested in protecting each other. And so I kind of get to move through the world being gay as I want to be, as flamboyant as I want to be, express myself in all the different ways, and that's because I know that the people in this ecosystem are interested in protecting each other. I feel some insecure sometimes when I am even a little bit separated or removed from that ecosystem because I do know that there are folks who exist who don't see me as beautiful or don't understand why my work is the way it is or don't understand like a man wearing heels. Recently, I was featured on a pretty popular page with a different audience than mine. It was kind of a random occurrence, but it was a cool celebration and a nice moment for me. When the page posted these images of me in this red lingerie piece in my bedroom, you know, being myself, doing what I kind of do every day, I read comments from folks who are outside of my community, and I received a lot of like throw up emojis and comments about how I'm an abomination and just a lot of ridiculous like mean things that I'm not used to hearing. I hurt my feelings a lot to read that, and it was a little bit embarrassing to me that I was so hurt by it because those are not people who are my community, but it kind of affirmed some of my insecurities that there are people who look at me like that. And really what I did is I just went back to my people, the people who do love me and who do affirm me. And I think that's why you have friends and family and community, just to kind of pick you back up from moments like that. I want people to remember that if we take care of each other and we make spaces for each other, that we will be good. That is really the most important mission of my work, and I hope that people can really see that. I have had experiences in all these conversations that I've had with folks in my community where they kind of dismiss the power of community and how much we are together and how much we are for each other and how much we do ride for each other. And I would love if there could be less moments of us forgetting that, because we are all riding for each other so hard. Not to be Beyonce about it, but my ultimate goal is to be happy. It really is, and I had no idea it would be such a task or such a journey to achieve happiness. I think I'm doing a good job at it so far, but there are still some things that make me unhappy, and I would like to figure out how to shed and how to move on past those things. So with my work, with photography, with community organizing, I'm trying to practice ways of healing and be able to give those ways of healing to other people as well. You can find more of my work at LaQuanndawson.com or at LaQuann Dawson on all social platforms.